So I grew up in a pretty small town of about 1,000 people, where my parents hired the only guitar player they were even aware of to start teaching me. Now, I was only like 10 years old, so this guy taught me some very basic chords, a couple of strumming patterns, and of course, Smoke on the Water. A couple of years later, my family moved to a bigger city where I was lucky enough to meet some other kids who also played instruments. I started trying to jam with them, and that was it. I was addicted. But I no longer had a teacher, so everything since then, I either learned from the internet, or by listening to my favorite players, or through experience playing in bands myself. And I'm mostly happy with where I'm at now, but in hindsight, I wasted literal years of potential progress because of some huge, totally avoidable mistakes. And if you are learning guitar without your own private teacher, it's likely you are going to make the exact same mistakes I did. So let's make sure that doesn't happen. My first big mistake was excusing my bad technique by saying it was my style. And this was really just because of my laziness and my ego. I specifically remember a time talking to some guitar playing friends who were discussing the differences in their vibratos. They were quite different from each other, but both were smooth and voice-like. Mine, on the other hand, looked like this. In my mind, that was just my style, but objectively, it sounded pretty amateur. Since then, I've spent years retraining my muscle memory to use my arm and my wrist rather than my fingers for vibrato. It's still not perfect, but it's definitely better. There are other things I used to excuse that still haunt me now as well. My alternate picking speed is much less developed than I'd like it to be because I leaned so hard on legato and hybrid picking. They got the job done, so I neglected working on a very important skill that I wish I had now. Another one is my finger picking, which might surprise you because I'm pretty decent at playing without a pick. But if you try and give me an actual finger picking pattern, even a pretty basic one, I literally can't do it. My fingers just refuse. And since I've spent years locking in my muscle memory for these techniques, fixing them will take me way longer than it would have if I just learned them properly back in the day. Gear acquisition syndrome. It had me in an absolute chokehold for nearly a decade. It started with simply finding my perfect overdrive pedal, but it quickly developed into obsessing over cable capacitance, power supply isolation, true bypass everything, hand-wired everything, vintage transistors and fuzz pedals, and even new old stock tubes in my amps. At one point, I wouldn't even look in the direction of something if it was digital. And don't get me started on finding the ultimate guitar specs. It was bad, really bad. I would spend every spare minute I had on Reddit, forums, watching demos, trying to craft this perfect guitar rig. If I spent just 10% of that time practicing, I would be a totally different player today. Just play your guitar. If a new piece of gear inspires you, that is awesome. That is the whole point. Get it if you can afford it. But if you feel like the minute you get that shiny new toy, you're on to the next thing, you might be suffering from the syndrome just like I was. Honestly, I found the best way to break free of this was just to tone down the amount of time I spent on the gear side of Instagram and YouTube. Don't get me wrong, I still love nice guitar gear, obviously. I just think my relationship with it is a little bit healthier these days. All right, mistake number 3 is something we are all guilty of in one way or another, and that's staying in our comfort zone. Once I learned that first pentatonic position, that was it. I played that shape over everything. And that's kind of the magic of it, right? It's so easy to learn, it always works, and it makes you sound like you know exactly what you're doing. Is there even a point to learning anything else? Well, that's sure what I thought. It all just became so comfy that I avoided learning anything else. And for chords, if I can just use a capo, why do I need to learn to play in any other keys than C, G, or A? I had a pretty good ear. I was playing in bands, so I was good, right? I was a legit player. Well, after a few years of hearing myself play in recordings or on video, I realized everything I did sounded the same. There was no variety, no sauce. I was finally honest with myself, and I realized I had to step things up. This is actually where I started developing these ideas that I now call the home base and the chord roadmaps, because I needed to learn to be equally comfortable in every single key. I also didn't want to be relegated to just one tiny position on the fretboard. I craved freedom. And if I had just stepped out of that comfort zone early on, even if it was just baby steps, I would have found that freedom so much sooner. To this day, I still find myself struggling to get out of my comfort zone on the guitar, but every time I do, it feels like my playing has new life breathed into it. So please, never stop learning. Having zero accountability sure is nice, hey? No one is breathing down your neck, making sure you're doing your homework. It's just you and your guitar against the world. But this lack of direction is usually the entire reason our playing plateaus. With every mistake I've described so far in this video, a little nudge here and there would have saved me years. So if you are going to learn to play this thing on your own and you actually want to get good at it, you need at least a little bit of direction so you don't get stuck. And this can take almost any shape or form, from a curated playlist of video lessons to an online guitar community to a weekly meetup with your other guitar playing friends who are further along than you. If you feel like you need a little more of this kind of direction in your life, I do have 3 structured step-by-step courses covering what I think are the most important guitar skills you'll ever learn: playing songs by ear, improvising and writing guitar solos, and visualizing and navigating the fretboard. All of these will give you an easy to follow path from beginning to end as you learn and develop these essential skills. And if you follow any of the links down in the description, you'll also get a big YouTube exclusive discount on all of them. My final and most critical mistake was believing the lie that guitarists didn't need to learn any music theory. I can't tell you how many times I told other people it was completely unnecessary. And now it's my job to make sure other guitarists don't fall for that lie the same way I did. About 10 years ago, I got a job in the industry that basically required me to learn a little bit of theory so that I could review another teacher's videos. And as I started learning little by little, it was like a new light bulb was going off in my head every 5 minutes. All those stupid systems I'd come up with to play in bands and jam with others up until that point had a real, rational, theory-based reason why they worked. I started to feel like there was this whole world of understanding that I was intentionally hiding myself from. Everything I had learned up until that point was connected, and the guitar finally made sense. Now, I'm not saying you need to go seek out a PhD in guitar music theory, but if you take the time to just learn the basic building blocks, the fundamentals, that knowledge will send your playing to the moon. And I so wish that I knew this sooner, because I found a whole new love for playing my guitar as a result. Also, learning theory will not ruin your sense of feel or creativity, I promise. So, am I alone? I'd love to know if you are guilty of any of these mistakes as well. Leave a comment down below and let me know. Also, if you don't know what to watch next, I'd recommend this lesson on how to stop sounding like a beginner on guitar. Make sure you check out my Patreon if you want to support what I do. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.